seeing the word pizzeria. What are they typically valued at? 10 times weekly gross sales, 15 times weekly gross sales, or 1.5 to 2 times net, 20 times weekly gross sales, or 5 times EBITDA. What do you think? Nick DiNardo should know this one. Deli businesses, look at the choices. Pharmacies, can you scroll down a little bit if you don't mind? Do you guys see pharmacies? Go up to question 3, please. Perfect. Supermarkets, what do supermarkets trade at? 1.5 to 2 times net, 15 to 20 times weekly sales, 5 to 10 times EBITDA. Car washes, okay. Express washes can go up to X times EBITDA if NOI exceeds $1 million. Express, those are automated car washes. What kind of EBITDA? Hotels outside major cities are valued at. So not New York City, we're talking upstate, we're talking Jersey. You know, how do you evaluate a hotel/motel? Okay, let's keep going down. Laundromats are valued at how many times EBITDA? Liquor stores, distribution or manufacturing businesses. Okay, subscription-based software business, a SaaS business. We just picked up a really nice one yesterday. With the EBITDA over 2 million, can be valued at, give me an estimate of what you think the multiple would be. Okay, okay, so client's relationship and control. You should always allow the buyer and seller to communicate directly and build trust. What do you think about that question? Yes or no? Or at what point? You should always allow the buyer and seller to communicate directly to build trust. At what point, if there is a point? What is the best way to protect yourself from being cut out of a deal? You should go to the first meeting between buyer and seller because it's polite, it helps control the process and protect your commission, it's required by law. When should you wish your clients a happy holiday? It's that's extreme. Actually, that's really important. Why should you avoid giving buyers and sellers each other's phone numbers early on? Okay, psychology and education, true or false? A good broker should focus only on the relationship, or should a good broker focus on the numbers of the business as well? Meaning, should the broker do the due diligence with the numbers as well as focus on the relationship, or should he just focus on the relationship? What do you think? What is the role of a broker in educating clients? A broker must understand the psychology of the client to decide whether to. Psychology is super important. It is typically valued at
C.
20 times weekly gross sales. I would say B. I would say right now it's B.
B, right?
B. 15 times weekly gross sales, or 1.5 to 2 times net. Right now. When I started, it was 20 times, but close.
And I learned that from your Instagram posts all the time. So I didn't know that.
So it's tough. I mean, some pizzerias, and Nick DiNardo, I don't know. I think
it depends on the pizzeria. Huh?
Yeah, depends on the pizzeria, but right now, I would say from the comps, it's around 15 right now. But it used to be 20.
What about the cash? They keep saying they have cash that they don't declare. So how do we
do it? We have to have an in-person due diligence. So the pizzeria that we're selling today, that's closing now, there was a lot of cash.
Right.
So the way that we structured it was, we looked at the invoices, we looked at what they buy, we looked at the payroll. It was about 30% and about 30%. Then we made a deal in the due diligence where if the numbers aren't within 10% of what they said they do, so if they say they do $20,000 a week including cash, if the numbers aren't within the $20,000 a week, 10% within the 20, so if the numbers are over 10% difference, then the buyer can get their deposit back. If the numbers are within 10%, then the deposit is completely non-refundable and the buyers have to move forward. So you got to hold that against the buyer. And they should agree. If the numbers are the numbers, why wouldn't you move forward? So that's what happened today. Delis, what are delis valued at?
When you to go back,
yeah.
When you take the deposit, that's an LOI or when you're in contract?
That's in the contract. What do you think delis are valued at?
I would say B.
C. Just like
It used to be B, now it's C.
So delis, it's kind of like pizzerias. Like if you have a high-end pizzeria that does $50,000 to $75,000 a week, it may be 20 times. If you have a pizzeria that does 10, 20, 30,000 a week, it's going to be 15. Same thing with delis, I think. If a deli is doing $10,000 a week, I can't see it being more than 15 times. I mean, 10,000 a week, you're not making money, right? So it's kind of a trick question. You know, it's the more income you do for these two businesses, the more it does a week, the higher the valuation is. So it's good that we go over this because there's no right or wrong answer here. It all depends. So you were right technically on higher end pizzerias. Pharmacies are commonly valued at what percentage of sales? How do you evaluate a pharmacy? 10 to 20% of gross sales is what they're trading for right now. So a pharmacy is doing $1 million a year, it's going to trade for 100 to 150. Pharmacy is doing $5 million a year, which isn't a lot for a pharmacy. It's going to trade for $1 million. All right, supermarkets, one of my favorite businesses. What are they valued at? This one's a clear answer.
B.
B.
Yep, B. 15 to 20 times weekly sales. New York car washes, what are they valued at? Scroll down a little more, please. What are New York car washes, full-service car washes traded at? What do you guys think?
Is it full service or?
Full service.
B?
B. 4 to 6 times EBITDA. Number 6, express washes can go up to how many times EBITDA if NOI exceeds $1 million? So a high-end express wash. So how many times do you think it can go up to in New York or the tri-state?
7?
I put 7.
10.
I think we.
In New York,
9 to 10.
9 to 10. So right now, oh, by the way, Danielle, so Danielle, I'll announce it. Danielle got a listing, $11 million listing. And wait, that's not the best part. And you know, for the Buyers Club, we're buying it. And we offered a low, you know, it's a great deal. We offered $9 million. They came back at 9.5, and now we're meeting at the middle at 9.25.
Nice.
And we're going to go through an exercise of showing everyone how we raise the capital. Hotels outside major cities are valued at, like upstate New York, New Jersey. What are the motels valued at? What do you think?
Isn't it A?
A.
Nope.
D.
Nope. D. Trick question. So motels, they do $1 million, $2 million, $3 million a year. Hotels, you know, outside of major cities and bumble, you know, out there. There, you know, we have a bunch of them. We have one in upstate New York. 2 to 4 times gross revenue. Those are what they trade for. And those sell. Laundromats are valued at how many times EBITDA?
B.
B. 3 to 6. Liquor stores are valued at
C.
C. 30% of gross plus inventory. Inventory is always separate. A subscription-based software business with EBITDA over $2 million can be valued at how many times net income depending on ownership structure. Subscription-based, subscribers, recurring revenue, private equity special, high-end. What do you think the EBITDA is going to be? What do you think the multiple is going to be?
11? 12?
I thought it was a lot. We just picked up one that has $1.5 million in EBITDA. It's a telecom SaaS business. We're listing it at $6 million, so 4 times. So if it's higher than that, it could be 5 to 6. But I would say 4 to 6 right now is the number. Unless it's like a 50 million EBITDA, then it could be 11, 12, 15. All right, section 2. True or false, you should always allow the buyer and seller to communicate directly to build trust. When and should you do that? Does anyone know that answer? Yeah, I would say after we have a signed contract and things are on paper with us as the broker on the contract, and there's a paper trail of everything with us introducing attorneys, and everything is put together, then I would let go a little bit. But in the beginning, you do that, people will try to be sneaky. Not everybody, but people will try to be sneaky, and they will cut you out. Right, Brian? By the way, Brian Udowitz, the best attorney in the world, one of my best friends, is here. What is the best way to protect yourself from being cut out of a deal? What do you think? Yep, B. Always have a paper trail, always have a text trail, always have an email trail. Always put things in writing. Number 14, you should go to the first meeting between the buyer and seller, because why should you go to the first meeting? I think in-person meetings are so underrated. You should go to in-person meetings, if you could.
I mean, it should be seen, but it's not.
Yeah, it's true.
Can it be A and B?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely A, B, and D. Because you build the trust with the buyer. Okay, number 15. When should you wish your clients a happy holiday? I'll answer that. Every single holiday, wish your clients a happy holiday. Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day. No matter what sales job you're in, no matter what it is, you might bring someone back that you spoke to in the past. I've done that before, and I brought a new listing back because I reached out to my contacts. There's no downside to wishing people a happy holiday. Why should you avoid giving buyers and sellers each other's phone numbers early on? Because they'll try to screw you over. Always assume they'll try to screw you over, even if they say they won't.
My quick question is, are you saying when you're reaching out, is it literally a telephone call, or what type of reach out are you doing with a holiday type thing?
So,
Shooting an email, a text message?
I would have text.
Just a text?
Just a text. I would say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, yeah, whatever it is. Happy Diwali. A lot of my clients are Indian. I wish them a happy Diwali. One of my clients called me up. I sold him a huge hotel. He's like, I want to sell my whole portfolio. I'm like, we'll meet next week sometime. It's a $2 billion deal. And he's the CEO of the group. And Vince and Stevie, I talk about that.
Thanks, bud.
Of course. Where am I at? There's good brokers. A good broker should focus only on the relationship, or should a good broker focus on the numbers and the business and the relationship as well? Both. I think you shouldn't get too in the weeds with the due diligence, because you're not an accountant, you're not an attorney, but you should always, you should know the numbers better than they do, because if they rebuttal it back, you're their friend now. You tell them, listen, I do this for a long time. I see deals. The numbers here for me are making sense. Why aren't they making? I don't let people say no to me. Like, if I know that I'm right, and I know the pizzeria is making $2,000 a week in cash, and I know it. I can see that he buys 10 cases of cheese a week, 8 bags of flour a week. I see that as being on the perimeter of these deals. I'm telling them no. You have to double check. You have to see it. Don't just give in. So I always want to know the numbers like the back of my hand. What is the role of a broker in educating clients? What is the role of a broker in educating clients, to teach clients and advisors how to evaluate this, but to sell without? This one doesn't make too much sense. I would say B, but it doesn't make that much sense. A broker must understand the psychology of the client to decide whether to, this is important. I would say A. No, everyone has a different type of personality. You're dealing with an egomaniac. You can't, you gotta dread it a certain way. You're dealing with someone that you gotta push, you gotta put a confession of judgment on his desk from a prior deal. You gotta do that, So there's always a different, nothing's cookie cutter. When a client tries to tell you how to do your job, you should, sometimes you step away. I like to put people in their place. It doesn't hurt. It shows you're the boss, you're the expert. They need you more than you need them. That's my mentality, and not in a cocky way. So I like to put people in place in a smart way.
So what you say is how you say it.
Yeah, it's not what you say, it's how you say it and how you act. Let's keep going down. We're almost done. And then we got a live call at 1:30 in 3 minutes. Name one of the 5 key factors in preparing to sell a business. What's a key factor in preparing to sell a business? What do you guys think? The amount.
Understand the story.
Understand the story, the why. Why are you selling? You know, you need, sorry? Financials. You gotta see if the books are in order. You know, all these things. Yeah, you got profit, if it's profitable, if they're losing money, if there's any skeletons. You know, we do background checks on businesses, tax liens. So you got to just really know what you're doing before you get in, which this is why we're here. Let's keep going down. Why should a business owner take a vacation? You got to see if the business can run without you. If the business can run without you, it's a better business if it can't run without you. That's what I tell all my clients. When discussing financials with buyers, why should sellers be conservative? Because you always want to underpromise and overdeliver. In everything you do, you want to underpromise and overdeliver. True or false? A broker should only work with a seller after verifying that management is in place. I'm mutual on that. If it's a great business, if the owner is super reasonable, and we think we can find an operator, I'll work with him. I like to work with more organized sellers that have their books in place, have their management in place, but that doesn't deter me if someone doesn't. Attorneys may try to intimidate brokers by using their legal knowledge. Accountants may attempt to lower a deal price by supporting the seller, I think, or highlighting on what's... All right, so let's make this, we have a live call. Dwayne, you want to come up here? There you are. Do you want to call on your phone? You do the call.
Yeah.
You want to do the call? Or do you want me to do the
I
call?
have that service here. You have good service?
Yeah, I got service. Whenever you're ready with this number. Yeah, I got service. Whenever you're ready with this number. All right, I'm gonna make the call now. So this guy's connecting us with the seller that wants to sell his building. And then after, I have a lead for someone here from Mr. Wonderful, one of his companies that wants to sell. So we'll be calling him at 2 o'clock. So Delaney has an accepted, can I just tell everyone? On the OBGYN?
Yeah.
Delaney, unbelievable, this guy is a killer. $5.5 million accepted offer with Vince and Dino, who's not here today, on OBGYN practice. So 10 points, right? 10 points, 5.5 million. Unbelievable.
Do we say he's good now?
Good? Okay, let's call him. What's it?
Hello?
Hey.
How you doing?
What's going on, boys?
Doing all right. How you? I have Mike here with me.
Hey, how are you?
Mike, what's going on, man? How's it going?
Everything's great. Yourself?
All good, bro. I am a little bit tired. I had an AM football practice this morning. Got rained on and all that good stuff, and then just bobbing and weaving as the day goes on. I'm sure you know how that is.
Yeah.
So all good, bro.
You got the adrenaline in you. You got, the dopamine. I love it.
Yeah, bro. I always got the juice, bro. I'm never lacking for that. Let me get Dan's and then I'll plug you guys in, all right?
Perfect.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, so let's look up this property. Can we pull it on the screen if possible?
All right, gentlemen, can you all hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm here. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Excellent. So, gents, please meet my dear friend, Steve Danza. Just one of the finest human beings that I know, and the feelings mutual about the both of you as well. So it's great to be on a call with good people.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve, I gave them a little bit of a background about your property. I forwarded them the email with some of the details. And I think that that's really all there is to it for me at this point. So I'll kind of step out of the way and then just listen and see if there's anything I can do to add some value.
Are you guys familiar with Queens at all?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Yep, we're born and raised.
All right, so, are you Queens?
No, in Long Island, but we're born and raised in New York. I know Queens very
All
well.
right, so you know. All right, so this property, it's been in our family over 50 years. We have a big footprint. It's a 35,000 square foot footprint. And a few years ago, the architect said, that we should really start getting our entitlements to put a bigger building here because the area is starting to take off. We didn't know about, Steve Cohen going to do an $8 billion development over there in City Field. That's about a mile and a half away from us.
Okay.
We're about 6 blocks to LaGuardia Airport. In an area that now is exploding. It's just starting to explode over there. So we had gotten our entitlements for a community use facility, which is school, medical, church, that type.
Okay.
For 70,000 square feet with 6 two-family houses, being 12 units. But nobody seemed to be enthused about the 12 two-families, so we went back to the drawing board, and now we have a 116,000 square foot community use facility, 2 floors below grade, 3 above because of the proximity to the airport, and a 221 car parking lot. So originally I was trying to do it on my own, which is just, when you learn it, you know what your wheelhouse is and you know what's not.
Sure.
I realize this is not my wheelhouse. So we just recently gave it to a broker, but we have a carve out. So it's not a problem with commissions and things like that. We gave it to Corcoran Group. They're not going live with it for a while. They want to try to keep it off market. Again, I wanted to be in on the deal. I'm fine just selling it and walking away. Again, I'm in the laundry business. I do laundry for hotels in New York City. We
Very
own a decent amount of real estate. Yeah, we own a decent amount of real estate, but nothing on this size.
Okay. And who's part? It's your family. Do you have how many just you and a few people, or?
Just me.
Just you.
No. I'm the sole owner.
Okay.
But it's been in the family for 50 years.
Got it. And then the retail stores, are there demolition clauses?
No, we vacated everything.
Oh, you vacated it. Okay. Yeah, just to understand. Okay. And you have about 30,000 square feet total.
35,000 is the footprint. 116,000 is the building, and 29,000 is the parking lot.
Got it. Okay. So there's air rights, and it's a big project. It's a very big project.
It's a big project. No, for sure. We went with the community use because it was the least path of resistance.
Yeah.
We have the demo permit approved already. It's shovel ready. It's just finding a partner or a buyer that knows this industry better than we do.
Have you spoke to?
I have not. I've heard that name before. The issue, not an issue. I'm going to say the only, it is a specialized tenant or buyer because it is medical, school, church type situation. They sold the building across the street last week. Now,
I'm gonna get on the phone right now.
It has a AAA tenant, FedEx, but they sold it for $87 million. Literally less than 200 feet away from us. We're right on Astoria Boulevard, so it's got great exposure. We do have a lot of debt on there. We have $25 million in debt. And that's because once COVID hit, we had to refinance everything just to keep things moving in our businesses. But everything is now entitled. Everything is permitted, ready to go. I should say permitted. The approvals are there. You need a contractor to pull the permits, as I'm sure you know.
Got it. So you need to pull the permits and it's ready to go.
Right. All the tenants have been evicted. They're all gone. We had to buy a lot of them out, but we got them out. And that's it. You're in an area, if you don't Boulevard, it's starting to really start to move and pop, especially with Cohen, with what he's doing down the block.
Sure, absolutely. The $25 million in debt, is that, what kind of debt is that? Is that assumable for somebody?
No, there's 2 mortgages. There's a first hard, hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Sure.
starting to work on off-season programming and a lot of really cool, exciting stuff. So wanted to make sure I shared that with you too.